This piece is by far one of my favorites in the house. Here comes Henry. I found it in an old thrift store that's not around anymore. And I don't even remember what I paid for it because I've had it so long. And it has changed so much. It was an original, like, dark color. And you can see that in the picture. I'll be sure to point it out. And then I painted it white. And I wasn't satisfied with the way it looked. So I went through and distressed all over it. It took me hours to get it down to this raw wood, but still try to leave some white. But the detailing on it is stunning. Like I said, I've had this one for a good many years, at least 7. And that is the original hardware. I just painted it black just to recycle it. But as you can see, it holds our TV. And I always tell people when they ask me that this dresser, or buffet, I guess, is my personality in a furniture piece. A little rough on the edges, not quite put together, but beautiful in its own way. This little cupboard is one of my very favorite pieces in the entire house because I found this little cupboard in my grandma and grandpa's garage and asked if I could have it. And my grandma began to tell me a beautiful story about where it came from, that her dad had actually built it, and then she had it. And then she passed it down to my Uncle Ralph. And now I have it, and with her permission, I did take it back to the original wood. But as I showed you in the pictures, it was originally green. When I found it, it was yellow. But to have that piece of history of my family in my house there's just something magical about a piece that has been passed down compared to one you just picked up on a garage sale with no story that you knew of. And this one, I get to say this has been in my family for generations. And I will pass it down to my kids and them to theirs. And there's just something beautiful about that. And I just have it in my front room, and anybody that happens to stop by, it's definitely a conversation starter. And I love it for that. This little cupboard, drawer, I'm not sure what you'd call it. I'm not completely done with yet. I got it on an auction for $9. And as you've seen from the before pictures, it was a really dark brown. And the lighting is terrible in this corner, guys. I got the ring light going, but helping much. But I did sand it all the way down, and then I did a whitewash paint on it to lighten the wood more. And then I just did the wood glue method. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but you just put, and it can be any kind of glue, Elmer's glue or anything, but I use wood glue. And you paint it on, let it dry, let it dry until it's like almost tacky. And then you put your paint on top. And then I like to use a blow dryer. And it will crackle like milk paint does. And then I just sanded that again after it was dry to distress it a little bit more. Try to get a close up for you guys. And then I just put a dark wax over that to age it. And the handles came from Hobby Lobby. But this one was fun, but I want to add feet to it. So that is a future project on that little guy. You'll have to forgive the lighting and the glare in here. It is not great, but this little piece was part of one of my very first videos here. I did a decorate with me, but I never showed the before. So I wanted to include it in here with the before pictures, and I actually took it completely apart and sanded it way down. And then put milk paint on some of it. Did you want to say hi? Should we say hi? Say hello, everybody. He is also a project, guys. So this is where the chest is today. It sits as a coffee table in our front room. And we specifically wanted to leave it a little bit rough because that's just kind of the way my husband and I decorate. We like things that tell a story, things that show age. Real life moment, we do actually use it as a coffee table. Get kind of a closer view so you can see the detailing and the age on it at time. It's faded. The leather strap is broke off. There are cracks and scratches, but I really do love it. I think it's a great little piece. And I was thrilled to add it to my collection. You guys have seen this hutch in my previous videos, or one of my previous videos. I did a decorate with me. It has actually changed since then, the inside of it, the decorations, but I specifically wanted to show this one because it was actually out by a dumpster at a garage sale. And I asked him what he was going to do with it, and he said he was going to throw it away. And I just, I actually gasped. And I said, would you take $5 for it? And these are metal. He said, of course I'd take $5 for it. So I was just gonna throw it away. So I happily handed over my $5, and as you guys could probably see from the pictures, Josh kind of thought I was crazy, which that's kind of a common occurrence, but I took it home and painted it all up, did some distressing, letting some of the old come back through. It still has the original handles. Sorry about that thump. This side's a little worse for wear. We could not get that tin to quite straighten out, so it has a big dip in it. The lighting's bad, sorry. But it is also one of those beautiful pieces that I am so happy to have as part of my home. We also have this one displayed in our front room. So this hutch was actually a decorate with me in my last video. It is one of my favorite pieces in the house, but we have a love-hate relationship. It has been a lot of work. We've changed it a lot. When I first got it, it was completely wallpapered, and we had to tear all the wallpaper off, all of the shelves, and the door. And actually these doors on the other side I painted over, but you might be able to see some through. Sorry, Henry's yelling for no reason. He's just being Henry. But I did paint over that because it was really glued on there. But the lady I bought it from said it was actually a kitchen cabinet, and she just turned it into a display case for her antique booth. And she found something else and decided to sell it. So I bought it from her for $15. I'm debating on whether I want to paint these shelves, because as you can see, they are all different colored wood. And those actually still have a lot of paint on them. So I don't know if I want to paint them or not, but I was actually using the bottom here as a top. It was actually flipped over until recently when Josh and I tackled it again and we put a new top on. So now it's actually the way it's supposed to be, which the doors never fit quite right when it was the other way around. Now they do. But I'm thinking I want to stain, because this is the original wood, the color. And I'm thinking I want to get a stain to match, so I don't have all different colored wood in this. But this project is always ongoing, as most are, because I can't leave things alone. Oh, and I think that picture, the dog one right there, was not there in my decorate with me, but blurry. I've since put it there. That is that project.